Hi, this is Stuart Talley here to do another update on the ongoing Pinnacle metal-on-metal hip trial. Today we heard from the defense attorney who gave a opening statement in the case that's currently pending now in Dallas, Texas on behalf of six California plaintiffs who had Pinnacle metal-on-metal hips that had to be revised. In opening, the defense attorney took issue with much of what the plaintiff's attorney presented in his opening statement. He started off by discussing the development of this hip, the Pinnacle metal-on-metal hip, and how it was designed. He specifically discussed the evolution and how hips that were metal on plastic had problems with wear debris, and how there was an effort, a huge effort, to try and come up with a better product. He discussed the fact that this hip was carefully considered, was tested in simulators, which he implied was better than actually testing it in humans because you can get more repetition, and that when it was launched, everybody believed that it was going to be a good product. He also discussed heavily the fact that surgeons who put these hips in, and specifically the surgeons who put them in the plaintiffs, knew about the risks of these hips. They knew the risks and they weighed those risks and they decided to put the hip in anyway. He discussed the fact that marketing, which the plaintiffs rely heavily on, is not something that surgeons actually consider when they decide what product to use. I think they cited one of the doctors as saying when he saw the ad for the Pinnacle, he just threw it in the trash. There is an effort by the defense to really push this idea that doctors have an obligation to know the risks, and that all of the doctors knew the risks of putting in the Pinnacle. He also discussed the fact that metal-on-metal wear debris and metal ions coming off metal-on-metal hips was something that was well known in the medical community and was well known to the surgeons who put these hips in. There was also discussion about the six individual plaintiffs. For two of the plaintiffs, the defendants have taken the position that the reason they had metal wear debris in their hip was because the surgeon didn't put the cup in properly. There's basically an ideal angle to put these cups in. There's a front and back angle and an up and down angle. And according to the defense attorney, there's this ideal angle that those cups should be put in at. What they said was that in two of the plaintiffs, the angle was too steep. And when that happens, you have the ball rubbing on the side of the cup, and they call that edge wear. And it's well known that that can increase wear debris in the hip. So in essence, on those two cases, the defense position is that the reason these people had problems was because of their surgeons. The second, or the third person who had an issue with their cup, the defense position is that the liner in the cup was not seated properly. And that was discovered when the hip was revised. And again, if the cup is not seated properly, or I'm sorry, the liner is not seated properly, that can result in excessive wear debris. With respect to the other three plaintiffs, the position is that there was no evidence that there was any damage in the hip caused by metal wear debris. No evidence of metallosis, no necrotic tissue. At least that's the position they are taking in the case, and we'll wait to see what the plaintiff's position is on these. But that is the position that the defendants are taking. They also discussed for all six plaintiffs the fact that many of them have a lot of health problems. They have, and specifically orthopedic problems. So a lot of the plaintiffs had back issues, knee issues, shoulder problems. And I think that the point there is that any damage caused by this surgery that they had, this revision surgery, needs to be considered in the context of the patient's overall health. And then there's another argument that was made throughout, which is no hips will last forever. that these hips had to be revised, maybe earlier than the company would have liked, but they were going to be revised at some point anyway. And so that's something we'll probably hear a lot of from the defense throughout the trial. So if you have a metal-on-metal hip, a Pinnacle metal-on-metal hip specifically, and you have any questions about what's going on with the trial, feel free to give us a call. You can reach us at the phone number on the screen, or you can visit our website and fill out one of our online forms.